Troy's got a brand new coach, brand new system. What have you seen from them in scouting?
The first thing you mentioned, the coaching. Neil Brown's a terrific coach, and what they have is they have a very experienced staff on offense, and everyone out of the same background. So you can watch them and just know that the first day the staff came together, they knew exactly what they wanted to do, how they wanted to accomplish it. And I always feel like that translates. You can see the team play when everybody's on the same page from a coaching staff. So offensively, they're for a new staff, they're up and running at speed pretty quickly.
There's been some big adjustments in the second half, and fourth quarter you haven't allowed a touchdown yet. But what's happening in the first quarter that is so different? Because I think the point differential is 1 or 2 points, but in the fourth quarter it's much different.
Yeah, we're playing poorly. I mean, we're it's a little bit of, I think right now it's the DNA of our team, and we're trying to address that. We're still looking at who's playing. Our lineup is still uncertain. We're still trying to find out what our best 11 are. But I wish something differently was happening. I wish we were making dramatic adjustments as the game goes on. But for whatever reason, we've had a couple games where we just haven't started the way that we need to start a game. And I think that comes down to our sort of the temperament of our older guys and having that mindset mentality of getting out there and having an edge to compete early on. And that's unfortunately been putting us in some holes in some of these games.
How much progress have you seen from Brandon Bryant since the spring?
Brandon has made a lot of progress, not just as a player, but as the way that he prepares. He was a guy probably in the beginning of the spring was just trying to get by with his athletic ability because he is so athletically gifted. And then what's happened sort of in the last 5-6 months is he's learning how to become a student of the game, becoming much more detail-oriented than he was at first, which is a natural for a guy of his age. And now when now the fact that he knows where he's going and he knows what to do, you can see him make strides on the field, and now his athletic attributes can really come out. And I think he's making an impact for sure in our secondary, and I think his role will only increase.
We talked to several of the defensive backs yesterday, and they said there was a lot of turnovers in yesterday's practice. Is there something different going on, or just the ball went to the right places yesterday?
Well, we made a major emphasis on it, but it's funny when when everyone's asking me how you force turnovers, I said the same thing, which I still believe. You have to stop the run, and then you have to harass the quarterback. But you can't harass the quarterback until you stop the run, and until our run defense gets to the point where we really feel like it should be, which it's not right now. Teams were able to kind of keep the ball out of harm's way. Now we certainly have had some opportunities that we haven't taken advantage of in these first couple games, but there's if there was a magic drill, everybody would do it. And I told everybody when with all the turnovers I was around last year, it's like eating your vegetables. You got to eat your vegetables first, and then when you start doing that, the turnovers start to come.
Defensive tackle positions aren't positions to get a lot of big stats. How would you evaluate the way Chris and Nick have been playing?
I think all of our guys inside are improving from where their starting point was, what they contributed to the team last year, because we obviously lost some really talented guys in there. So you got to hold them to the standard. You got to hold them to the level of expectation based off of where they last left off. So all those guys, not just Chris and Nick. Chris and Nick are playing better than they have. Can they play better? For sure they can play better, but not just them, but certainly Nelson Adams. We're getting contributions from guys like Torrey Dale on the inside, and then the continued development of every day in practice of Corey Thomas and Braxton Hoyette. So we feel like there's some guys in there that we can roll throughout the course of the game. And I keep mentioning, and I think the same thing is true, this team is evolving. Some years you just kind of, September 1st, you know what you got and off you go. This is just a different style of defense. It's a defense that's just, our lineup is evolving. We're having guys that are sort of finally starting to hatch at their own different rate. And that's why these weeks of practice are so important. I think you'll see the personality of our defense and the identity of our defense continue to evolve and change as the year goes on.
When you have the team that's evolving, how big of a loss is Kendrick Market, who's kind of the leader of that defense?
Well, it's massive because we don't have many leaders to give away. We don't have very many seniors to give away. And then at that position as well, we are behind him pretty young. It makes a big time difference. So, because he's a guy that the young guys could watch practice, they could watch him prepare, they could watch him do everything. So, but all that being said, I hate it much more for him than I do for us, because he's a guy that the way that he came back from his injury before any timetable said he had any right to be playing, and everything he did, I feel his loss much more than I feel that the loss he creates in our defense, which is still significant.
Behind him, obviously, guys like Jamal and Mark, maybe going to be dependent on more than they expected to be, but where are they sort of in that, progression?
They're learning every day, Jamal had some baptism by fire. I mean, that's a heck of an environment to go in and try to learn how to play pass defense against them in front of all those people. But they understand that there's a reason why we felt like they had to play for us this year, and it wasn't necessarily September 5th. It might have been October 5th, and then who knows what they'll look like November 5th. But they get it. They see it now. They understand the jump between high school and college, and the mental jump. It's really what it is. Physically, they're both gifted, but just that mental discipline, that mental strain it takes to be a down after down player. But the great thing is they both have great attitudes. They're both willing learners, and then certainly when they do know where they're going, their athletic ability flashes.
For Jamal, playing so much in that game, is that something you can take and say, all right, now we've actually got some film that we can work on?
I think so. And the neat thing about Jamal was that he wasn't. Where he was supposed to be at all times? No, of course not. But that's okay. Did he play fast and did he play physical? Yes, he did. And that's the greatest part. If he'd have gone out there and played slow and hesitant, then you would worry. But to walk out onto that stage and just to play fast and to make hits and make plays, that means he's not in awe of that environment. That means he knows that he belongs. And now we can spend the rest of his career fine tuning the where to go and how to do it.
At times during A&M, I think you had Peters, Bryant, and Coleman out there. I think Peters said it was the cheetah package. What do you like about that package?
Well, against a lot of their four wide sets, we're just trying to get more speed on the field, and we're still we're still trying to decide who our best 11 guys are. We're still mixing and matching during the course of that game. We're doing that every day in practice. We're about to go evaluate this film and try and find out literally the first 11 guys we're going to line up with on Saturday. So. But certainly against teams that like to spread you out, you like to get as much speed on the field as possible, and those guys have done well in practice. We felt like they deserve a shot.
Coming in this year, was this a problem you thought that you would face in the sense of trying to find 11 guys, I guess, this late into the season?
Yeah, but I don't know if it's a problem. I think we felt like this would be the identity of the defense. In reality, we're where we started, and being 3-2, and we've got a bunch of good numbers just in terms of at least scoring defense. What I like that our team has a backbone. What we need is now our team to have an edge. We have a spine. That's why we're good in the red zone. That's why we're good in the fourth quarter. That's pretty. We're resolute. Now the edge. The cutting edge that takes that instead of just knowing we can take a punch. Can we deliver one? And that's the identity of this defense. And really, you could argue the whole football team that's evolving as the year goes on.
Yeah, when you're looking at the numbers, I guess